Listen carefully, because betrayal is not the thunder you hear in the distance. It is the quiet you fail to question. Men imagine betrayal as an explosion, a dramatic confrontation, a sudden act of treachery that shocks the world. This illusion destroys more people than betrayal itself. In truth, betrayal is patient. It moves slowly. It lowers its voice. It changes nothing suddenly, because sudden change awakens suspicion. Instead, it removes things one by one until absence becomes normal. Silence is the first language of betrayal. When someone who once spoke freely begins to speak less, when conversations shorten, when details vanish, this is not coincidence. This is calculation. Information is power, and power is never surrendered accidentally. The future betrayer begins by controlling what you know. He decides what you deserve to hear and what must be hidden. You mistake this for busyness, distraction, or maturity. You excuse it because the relationship still exists. But understand this law: loyalty expands communication, betrayal restricts it. Watch how silence behaves. It does not arrive alone. It is accompanied by subtle shifts that seem harmless, a delay in response, a change in tone, a hesitation where confidence once lived. These are not emotional fluctuations. These are strategic pauses. The betrayer is measuring distance, testing how much absence you will tolerate without resistance. Every time you accept less, he learns how much more he can take. In my time, conspiracies did not begin with swords. They began with silence in council rooms. Men who once argued passionately began to nod quietly. Those who once advised openly began to withhold. This silence was praised as wisdom, restraint, diplomacy. In reality, it was detachment. Detachment is the womb of betrayal. Do not be deceived by calm behavior. Calm is often preparation. When someone emotionally withdraws while remaining physically present, they are repositioning themselves. They are learning how to exist without you while still benefiting from your presence. This is the most dangerous phase because nothing appears broken. You feel something is wrong, but you cannot name it. You doubt your intuition. You accuse yourself of paranoia. And while you question yourself, the betrayer strengthens his position. Calculated restraint is the final refinement of betrayal. The betrayer does not provoke you. He avoids conflict. He avoids extremes. He becomes balanced, reasonable, and controlled. Why? Because open conflict exposes intention. Restraint conceals it. By appearing disciplined, he gains moral advantage. If confrontation arises later, he will appear composed while you appear reactive. This contrast is intentional. Restraint also serves another purpose. It prevents emotional investment. The betrayer must emotionally detach before he can act. Silence cools attachment. Distance numbs loyalty. Once emotion fades, betrayal becomes easy, even logical. This is why those closest to you can betray you without remorse. They have already left emotionally long before they leave strategically. Never assume silence means peace. Silence often means observation. The betrayer watches how you move without him. He studies whether you notice his absence. He evaluates whether you depend on him or have alternatives. Silence is reconnaissance. Subtle shifts are mapping. Restraint is discipline. Understand this deeply. Betrayal is not an emotional outburst. It is a rational decision. And rational decisions require preparation. Preparation requires concealment. Concealment thrives in silence. If someone truly respects you, their silence will be temporary and explained. If someone is preparing to betray you, their silence will be consistent and vague. They will offer no clear reason because clarity limits flexibility. Vagueness protects intention. You must learn to fear what does not demand your attention. Loud enemies reveal themselves. Silent traitors blend into routine. You greet them daily. You trust them automatically. You defend them when others question them. This is how betrayal succeeds without resistance. Power is rarely stolen in one motion. It is removed piece by piece until you awaken holding nothing. And when you finally notice the loss, the betrayer will already be positioned as calm, reasonable, and distant, while you are confused, emotional, and isolated. This is why I warn you, do not chase noise. Study silence. Do not obsess over dramatic threats. Observe subtle withdrawals. Loyalty announces itself through presence, effort, and openness. Betrayal announces itself through restraint, distance, and quiet recalculation. The man who learns to read silence will never be surprised. The man who waits for words will always be late. Understand this before anything else. Promises are performances. They cost nothing, they risk nothing, and they bind no one who knows how to escape them. Men swear loyalty with ease because words create comfort, not commitment. If you wish to understand intention, you must stop listening to what is said and begin observing what is avoided. Avoidance is truth without decoration. Those who plan betrayal rarely lie directly. Direct lies require memory and courage. Avoidance requires neither. The future betrayer becomes skilled at postponement. Decisions are delayed. Answers are incomplete. Commitments are softened. You hear phrases designed to keep you calm while giving nothing in return. Soon, we will see. It is complicated. Trust me. These are not neutral responses. They are shields. Delay is one of the most effective weapons of deception. By delaying action, the betrayer buys time to reposition himself. He allows circumstances to change while appearing patient and reasonable. You believe he is cautious. In reality, he is waiting for advantage. Time reveals nothing to those who do not act, but it gives everything to those who plan. Watch carefully how people behave when action is required. When risk appears, who suddenly becomes busy. When accountability is demanded, who disappears. When clarity is requested, who responds with fog. Men betray not at the moment of action, but at the moment they refuse to act with you. What is hidden is more important than what is shown. Loyalty exposes itself through transparency. Betrayal hides behind selective truth. The betrayer does not fabricate stories, he edits them. He reveals just enough to appear cooperative, while concealing what would expose his intention. Partial truth is more dangerous than lies because it builds trust while controlling reality. In courts and councils, I saw men speak honestly about trivial matters while hiding the critical ones. This created the illusion of openness. You must understand this method because it is still used today. When someone is willing to speak freely about unimportant things but becomes evasive around key decisions, you are witnessing strategy, not personality. Avoidance also reveals itself in responsibility. Loyal men accept burden. Betrayers redirect it. They are present when praise is given and absent when blame appears. They volunteer opinions but avoid ownership. They advise but do not commit. This allows them to benefit from success and escape failure. Such behavior is not accidental. It is rehearsed survival. Never trust someone who is always agreeable but rarely accountable. Agreement without action is manipulation. The betrayer aligns verbally while distancing himself practically. He stands near you in words, but far from you in consequences. This separation is intentional. It keeps his hands clean while yours become dirty. Another signal of intention is how someone reacts when pressed for clarity. The loyal clarify. The betrayer becomes defensive, irritated, or philosophical. He reframes your questions as mistrust, impatience, or negativity. This tactic shifts focus from his avoidance to your suspicion. Many rulers and leaders fell not because they lacked power, but because they allowed this reversal to silence their instincts. Remember this law: those who hide behind complexity are usually hiding simplicity they do not wish you to see. Truth is often direct. Deception is elaborate. When explanations grow long but answers remain short, intention is being concealed. Men betray because it benefits them, not because they are evil. To do so successfully, they must keep options open. Avoidance keeps doors unlocked. Promises close doors. This is why betrayers speak beautifully but act cautiously. Words bind the naive. Silence protects the calculating. If someone consistently avoids shared risk, shared responsibility, and shared consequences, understand what they are preparing for. They are preparing a future where they stand apart from you. When the moment arrives, they will say they were never fully involved, and because of their avoidance, they will not be lying. You must train yourself to measure loyalty by friction. Who moves with you when it is inconvenient? Who answers when it is uncomfortable? Who acts when it is dangerous? Behavior under pressure is the only reliable confession. Those who intend to stand with you move toward clarity. Those who intend to betray you move toward ambiguity. They blur edges. They delay decisions. They hide commitments behind politeness and patience. If you stop listening to promises and start watching avoidance, you will see intentions long before actions reveal them. Most people are not betrayed suddenly. They are betrayed gradually through delays they tolerated, silences they excused, and responsibilities others refused to share. Understand this truth before it costs you everything. Enemies are visible, but allies are close. And closeness is access. No enemy can wound you without effort, but an ally needs only opportunity. This is why power has never fallen primarily to opposition, but to intimacy. History is not written by those who attacked from outside, but by those who stood inside the gates. An enemy prepares openly. He sharpens his weapons, gathers his forces, and signals his intent through resistance. You feel threatened, so you strengthen your defenses. But a trusted ally disarms you without lifting a blade. He does not need force. He is already welcomed. He is already believed. He is already inside your confidence. This is the great illusion of trust. You assume loyalty because of proximity. You assume safety because of familiarity. You assume gratitude because of shared history. Power is not destroyed by hostility. It is softened by comfort. When you are comfortable, you stop watching. When you stop watching, you are already vulnerable. Trusted allies know your routines. They know your fears. They know what you ignore, what you delay, and what you avoid. They know how you think because you have spoken freely in their presence. Every confidence you share becomes a map. Every habit becomes a predictable path. Every weakness becomes an opening. Enemies must guess. Allies already know. This is why rulers throughout history feared their inner circle more than their rivals. The inner circle controls information. It shapes perception. It decides what reaches you and what never does. Power does not collapse when attacked. It collapses when isolated, and isolation is often engineered by those closest to you. The trusted ally does not remove you suddenly. He makes you irrelevant gradually. He influences decisions subtly. He reframes options quietly. He positions himself as indispensable while making you dependent. You believe you are leading, but you are being guided. You believe you are informed, but you are being filtered. When power shifts, it rarely announces itself. It drifts, and those drifting currents are controlled by trusted hands. You must understand the psychology of the ally who betrays. He does not see himself as a traitor. He sees himself as a realist. He believes he is adapting to circumstances, protecting his future, correcting your mistakes. Loyalty, in his mind, is conditional upon your strength. When your strength wavers, his loyalty dissolves. Enemies oppose you because they must. Allies abandon you because they choose to. This choice is made the moment an ally begins to believe he could do better without you. And this belief often grows silently, fed by proximity and familiarity. Respect erodes faster among those who see you daily. Mystery maintains authority. Familiarity weakens it. This is why wise leaders keep emotional distance even from those they trust. Not because trust is impossible, but because unchecked closeness breeds contempt, and contempt breeds betrayal. An ally who no longer fears losing you has already begun to imagine replacing you. Watch how allies behave when you show weakness. Enemies celebrate it. Allies measure it. They do not rush to defend you. They calculate the cost. They observe reactions. They test loyalties elsewhere. This calculation is the moment where allegiance becomes negotiable. Power is not shared evenly among allies. There is always imbalance. Someone benefits more. Someone feels overlooked. Someone believes they deserve more recognition, more authority, more reward. These quiet resentments do not erupt. They ferment, and proximity allows them to grow unnoticed. The most dangerous ally is not the angry one, but the patient one, the one who smiles, listens, and waits. He understands timing. He understands that betrayal is most successful when it appears justified. He waits for a moment when others are ready to believe your fall is necessary. Enemies must convince the world you are wrong. Allies only need to stop defending you. Never confuse shared history with shared destiny. Men walk together for years and part ways in a moment. Loyalty based on memory is weak. Loyalty based on interest is temporary. Loyalty based on fear and respect lasts longest. This does not mean you must rule through cruelty, but through awareness. You must never forget that those closest to power benefit most from its transfer. When power moves, it moves inward before it moves outward. You do not protect yourself by eliminating allies. You protect yourself by understanding them. You observe their ambitions, their silences, their reactions to your success and your setbacks. You note who grows uncomfortable when you are strong and who grows excited when you are uncertain. Enemies sharpen blades. Allies sharpen narratives, and when the story changes, power follows. If you wish to survive among men, you must abandon a dangerous habit, believing emotions reveal truth. Emotions are performances, often rehearsed, sometimes unconscious, but always unreliable. Tears can be summoned, anger can be staged, affection can be mimicked, but behavior is expensive. Behavior requires effort, sacrifice, and consistency. This is why the wise observe actions while the foolish listen to feelings. Loyalty is not born from affection. Affection fades. Loyalty is born from alignment of interest, fear of loss, and respect for consequence. When these disappear, loyalty dissolves regardless of how warm the emotions appear. This is why betrayal so often comes from those who once seemed most devoted. Their feelings were real, but irrelevant. Men do not act according to how they feel. They act according to what benefits them. Feelings fluctuate, interests remain. If you measure loyalty by emotion, you will always be surprised. If you measure it by behavior, you will rarely be disappointed. Watch what people do when there is nothing to gain. Watch who remains when applause ends. Watch who supports you when association costs them status, comfort, or safety. Behavior under disadvantage is the purest confession of loyalty. A man may express outrage when you are wronged, but will he defend you when doing so risks his reputation? A man may express love when you are powerful, but will he remain when you are uncertain? Words comfort you. Behavior protects you. In courts, leaders who trusted emotions were betrayed quickly. Those who trusted patterns endured. Patterns cannot be faked indefinitely. A single performance may deceive you, but repetition reveals intention. Consistent behavior over time is more truthful than any confession. Understand this. People manage impressions, not intentions. They want to be seen as loyal, moral, supportive. This image is valuable, it allows them access, it builds trust, but image collapses under pressure. Behavior reveals what image conceals. Do not ask people how they feel about you. Ask what they are willing to risk for you. Risk is the currency of loyalty. If there is no risk, there is no loyalty, only convenience. The wise ruler does not demand emotional devotion. He demands predictable behavior. Predictability creates stability. Stability protects power. Emotional devotion is unpredictable. It turns to resentment, jealousy, or fear without warning. This is why discipline outlasts affection. A disciplined ally behaves consistently even when he is displeased. An emotional ally behaves passionately one day and disappears the next. Depend on structure, not sentiment. Observe how people behave when they are disappointed by you. Loyal men express disagreement without sabotage. Disloyal men express agreement while undermining. Emotion hides in both cases. Behavior distinguishes them. Also observe how people behave when they believe you are not watching. True loyalty does not require supervision. Opportunism thrives in absence. If someone's behavior changes when oversight disappears, you have learned everything you need to know. Men who rely on emotion ask, "Do they like me?" Men who rely on wisdom ask, "Do they need me, fear me, or respect me?" These forces shape behavior far more reliably than affection ever could. This does not require cruelty. It requires clarity. You do not manipulate emotions. You align incentives. You reward loyalty with security. You punish betrayal with consequence. Over time, behavior stabilizes because deviation becomes costly. Understand this law clearly. People follow feelings until feelings conflict with interest. At that moment, interest wins. Always, if you want to know who will stand with you tomorrow, do not study today's affection. Study yesterday's behavior. Study patterns. Study consistency. Study what people protect when forced to choose. Those who survive betrayal are not colder. They are clearer. They do not hate trust. They refine it. They do not become paranoid. They become observant. Behavior never lies. It only waits to be noticed.